I think he's Daniel McGrong.
You know, the purple wiggle versus the green wiggle. It's probably one of the best grounds in Australia, like a proper football stadium.
I actually think he went for goal, and he got lucky with a deflection. Hello and welcome to the A-League's download presented by Isuzu UTE. Only one winner from last week's top six. Newcastle Jets continue to claim the top position. Sydney claw two back in a thriller in the Big Blue. And would you believe it, everyone at home? Central Coast are in finals contention. They have just landed in the top six. What a show we have for you today. I am your host, Jake Barker-Daish, and joined by a man with over 100 caps for the mighty Perth Glory, Naum Sekulovski, and A-League champion from Melbourne Victory, Rashid Mahazi.
Boys, good to be back.
How good's this?
Yeah, Central Coast landing in the six, guys. What's going on here?
Boys, I was thinking Newcastle Jets were going for that win streak.
Yeah.
Central Coast might have it here. They're 4 out of 5, Jakey BD.
Yeah, they're going to win the league right now.
Talk about a late run.
Yeah.
How bloody good's this?
Yeah, Warren Moon. Yeah. He's doing what Jackie Moon would do in semi-pro, just rising to the occasion. Can't wait to get stuck into them today in today's episode. But as we always do on the downloads, we've got to start with some bangers of the week, and none better than this one, Butker. Anthony Caceres, bit of a consolation moment in the end of the game, but what a crack.
Absolute belter. I mean, in a game that had plenty of chaos, he just finds that top right corner, and how sweet does he hit it? It's an absolute gem.
Yeah, just class, what we expect from him always, Butker. His technique in and around the box, and that is, as soon as it's hit the boot, it's in the back of the net, on the near side of Andrew Redmayne as well. It doesn't get much better than that. No chance there, huh?
No chance.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a few goalkeeping things, I guess, to break down today without our compatriot Thomas Sorensen, so that's going to be interesting. But I don't think any keeper in the world would stop this one, Rashid, and this is your good friend Juan Mata in the Big Blue.
Yeah, well, Jake, you said we expect that from Caceres' technique. Well, there's some Manchester United players expecting this from Juan Mata's technique, calling it before he hits it. How good is that? Yeah. It's probably the perfect free kick, and he's been a real standout this season, shining light on this league.
Textbook.
Just sometimes when you hit those balls and it just hits the post, makes that noise, bit of silence. It is just a magical moment.
As excited as a young kid scoring his first goal he was after that one.
Oh, he was pumped. He was absolutely wrapped. And I think we spoke about it pre-show. He starts celebrating just before it goes in as well. So he knows his craft and he knows where it's going as well.
Well, on cue here, Butker, because let's have a look at this. Before the ball has even hit the post and gone in, Juan Mata is almost at the corner flag, ready to go and run to the victory fans there. That is such a special moment. That's a player that knows his quality, that had full confidence in the moment. I felt he also owned the moment before. He was telling the ref where he wanted the ball, the way they were setting up. He was making sure, took his time. He was supremely confident, and then went and celebrated the moment with the victory fan. He continues to deliver, guys. And before I let you go there, we've got to talk about him because he's creating global headlines at the moment. His goals that he's been scoring, he's got 4 goals, 10 assists.
How good.
I want to go through some of his goals, but we're going to start with this one, which was the lob in the Melbourne Derby, because this was pretty special. Now, we're going to break down 2 of his goals to see which one's better. This was the first one where he caught Patrick Beach out. The ball came loose, as you saw. Rashid, I'm tipping this might not be your number one out of the 2 we're going to show.
Mate, to be honest, I decided backstage that I thought the free kick was better, but now I'm looking at that again, I'm like, that's actually incredible, bro.
Yeah,
I think the free kick's harder. I don't know. I think the free kick's harder. I think less players are able to do the free kick than able to execute something like this.
Well, Butker, I'm interested to get your take, right, because we just saw the free kick before.
Yep.
Which one was better? The Derby goal there where he's kicked one from halfway, or the fine sort of curling chip that he did against Sydney FC?
I think they're both great goals. Unbelievable technique. When you look at what you do on the training pitch, I think you can practice the free kick, right? And you can spend 10, 15 minutes each session refining that, whereas the shot is off the cuff and just really football IP technique all in one. So I'm probably going to have to go with the Derby game, Melbourne Derby goal for me.
Yeah.
The lob.
So, Rashid, are you making a final switch here? Because you were very bullish on a free kick before we jumped on air. So
I'm going to say the free kick's harder.
The free kick's harder?
I think the free kick's harder.
I'm actually torn because I tend to agree with Rashid technically. I mean, there was only a small gap he could do with a free kick in a bigger space, but geez, it's hard. You're right, Butker.
I know Rashid is getting fit, is building his muscle, but we can UFC this right now. Right, we can bring the cage in, we can go 2v1. if you want to sort of get to the bottom of it. So whatever you guys want to do, I'm happy to do it.
All right. No, we'll leave.
Why don't we try to recreate both of them? And see what's harder for three of us.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
Well, he's left-footed, so I kind of like your opinion. But I mean, let's see. What do you guys think at home? Let us know in the comments which was the better Mata goal, the one in the Melbourne Derby or the Big Blue? Because goals to Juan Mata and Charles Nduka got victory in front, 2-0 up, and then Stamatolopoulos and Arslan scored a couple just within a space of a few minutes to level the game in what was a thrilling draw. Guys, we've got to go through this because it was a strong showing from Sydney FC. A wonderful ball here from Ben Garuccio, Stamatolopoulos with a great finish. But momentum shifted in this game. Sydney had more possession, Rashid. What was your takeaways from it?
I think Victory had more chances. And I think in this situation, this is the type of game that Victory need to win. So it's not a good sign that they draw it in the end. But at least good to see Stamatolopoulos. I'm just going to call him Stammer.
Yeah.
Stammer to get on the score sheet.
And Butker, for you, I mean, that point kind of just takes Sydney a little bit away from the Premier's plate. But in all honesty, they'd probably walk away with that a little bit happier than Victory because it wasn't looking like they were going to grab anything at one point.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, for me, Victory are probably in the driver's seat in that game. And then just a little bit of a lapse, I guess, or a little lull in the game, and Sydney at home, which they're quite notoriously known for that, come back and in the space of minutes, the game's back on level terms. So, not sure what it means for Victory from Sydney's perspective. They're probably out of that top two race.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. I thought they made some great substitutions. Rashid, you had something?
Let me ask you this: which coach made the better substitutions? Because both came on and had an impact.
Yeah, well, Nduka scored practically straight away with his first touch, and then Stamatolopoulos, Arslan, obviously. But the impact from Hassan Toure was something to talk about. I actually do have a little bit of a hot take for him.
Okay, here we go.
But I thought Hassan Toure was brilliant when he came on. The ball's in behind. The ball that got played to him for the second goal was outstanding.
Stammer, the architect.
His speed, he's just brought something to the team and dynamic. But I might have to call him out here because I think personally the second goal that was a shoe-in for a pass for Arslan. I actually think he went for goal, and he got lucky with a deflection with Wachowski. And gents, I don't think I was the only one that thought that. Let's have a look at this. This is Daniel McBreen reviewing the goal.
Here's another look at it. Great run from Hassan Toure. He's going for goal there. Wachowski gets a touch.
Now, just looking at that, I actually think that's going just inside the near post. It's taken a heavy deflection and landed in Arslan's feet. Thank God for Sydney FC and Hassan Toure. But that was a moment that I saw at home, and then Daniel McBreen did validate on commentary. I don't know if you guys agree.
I think he's Daniel McWrong. I think he's crossing it.
Massive call.
I think he's crossing
Okay, but how's he crossing it with it if it's deflected 10 metres to the left, right, perfectly in his pass?
Because the goalkeeper's that close to him that even a cross gets deflected.
Okay.
I'm going McWright. So Rash is going McWrong. I'm going McWright.
Yeah.
Maybe a little straw poll out for the listeners to see what they think. I think he's going for goal, Rash.
Yeah.
So I'm with McBreen here.
Because I think he scans just before he gets there. I think he scans and he sees him. So if we can see that footage again, which we probably can't, I reckon he scans early and he sees it.
Yeah, I mean...
We can. We've got the best team in the world.
Yeah, we've got the best team in the world here. Yeah. But I think he scans and still goes for goal. But nonetheless, Hassan Toure, you were brilliant when he came on, and I thought your impact was fantastic. Ben Garuccio was hitting great balls in all day, and Stamatolopoulos, great to see him firing for Sydney FC. As they'll be fighting a couple of very important teams at the top of the table in the Jets and Auckland. But before we get down into those two, we've got to talk about Perth Glory and their performance away at Auckland. And now, this your man, Colakovski, didn't he rile up the Auckland fans with a goal here, as we saw a great ball from Luke Tevere?
We're looking at the Macedonian Mexican from Pascoval. He's got a real pikey look about him with that mustache. And he's just giving to him. I think he goes back for more now. There he is. Calm down. It's under control. Pablo Escobar from Pascoval, the Macedonian equivalent anyway.
Jake Brimmer not having any of it.
Not happy.
Yeah, not happy. I don't mind that from Brimmer as well. I don't mind that from Collar.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
It was good, but he went back for second.
He does give a bit of a Mr. McMahon walk as well at the end there. Did you notice? He struts off with the arms swinging.
Peacocking a little bit,
Yeah, peacocking. I mean, look, I thought it was an interesting game out there. Perth obviously did very well. Got to give a shout out to Luca Tevre. He had 2 assists in the game, starting to find his feet in the A-League, and Colakovski with a great finish. But Auckland, now those points that they've dropped there, the Jets win on the weekend, this is just getting a little bit closer now for the Jets now. I mean, how are you seeing the top 2 shape up? Because we're very strong A+ mid-season on Auckland.
Very bullish.
They're solid as a rock.
Very bullish. Look, they look fairly solid across the park, and I know we had the talking point pre-show. Where are the gaps? And like, if we look at that goal specifically, and I don't know what vision we do have, the second one from Colakovski, probably just questioning where the goalkeeper is standing on that particular goal. And
not outside the post.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, should we bring that show? Do we want to talk about that? I mean,
do we want to talk about it, Rash?
Let's talk about it.
Right. No Thomas Sorensen to kind of vouch us here, but this goal, ladies and gentlemen, Rashid's come in today, which I do agree with. If you watched it from behind vision of Michael Vowd, he's kind of jumped outside of the goal before Colakovski's actually hit that, which does go down the middle, not to take anything away from the finish. But, geez, you make yourself big, you give yourself a huge chance with the direction of where that ball went.
Unfortunately, we don't have Tom here today, but
a couple of experts nonetheless.
Yeah, a couple of goalkeeping experts on the chairs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thought, right?
Yeah, I just think it looks like he's just guessed and jumped early.
Yeah.
Just taking a punt.
Which I don't know if that's correct.
Okay, yeah, with our goalkeeping knowledge. Well, this is going to... Auckland now, they sit 4 points behind Newcastle. They drop vital points at home to Perth. And it just makes us think about Newcastle now getting that little bit closer. There's going to be brewing for a great fixture between Newcastle and Auckland this week. Guys, let's have a talk about Newcastle, because they had a pretty tough game up at Western Sydney. We know Western Sydney Wanderers have started to find some form, but they've toughed it out again. They got a 2-1 win, come from behind win over the Wanderers. Rashid, the youthful energy that was exciting, it has been tested the last few weeks with some really tough opposition and results, and they found a way to get another win.
Yeah, and let's not forget that they were tested early on through the season as well, and they bounced back and they showed they could come back into form. I'm very, very confident that these guys are going to run away with the premiership, and a very important win, this one here, in difficult times.
Yeah, and Butker, for you, I mean, were you impressed with this game? We know what the Wanderers, as I said, have been in form, but they found key moments, a couple of scrappy goals, a few that Western Sydney Wanderers won't be proud of, maybe their defenders just kind of lapsing and falling asleep at the wheel, I guess you could say, but the Jets taking their chances.
Yeah, great character. I know I was bullish on Auckland, A+, but what we're seeing from a young side, like Rash mentioned, is nothing short of brilliant. And, there's credit there for Millsy and what he's done in his first year of senior football coaching as the number one. So they look more than likely our premiers, I think, for this season.
Well, you dropping the hammer, are we, on that?
I think we can drop the hammer.
Drop the hammer?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll drop the hammer. I don't know, Rash, you with me or
Yeah, especially after this weekend. Obviously, Auckland kind of kept themselves in it with just getting a point, but I think they're too good, Newcastle.
Let's just go into the top 3 standings here, or the top 4 I'm going to share with you. Newcastle are on 14 points with a 13-plus goal difference. Auckland, 36 points on a 14-plus goal difference. Sydney, 33 points with A-plus goal difference. And Adelaide, 31 points. So this game this weekend could effectively decide the Premier's plate. It's going to be a massive one up there in Newcastle. I'm just going to throw it to you guys now. Auckland, can they get a result up here? Can they come away with not just a point, but even 3 points, Butker?
I think it would be silly to just ride them off, right? Like I said, the caveat on my call on Newey is that Auckland still have the squad to win this thing. If they want, this weekend is probably going to be the biggest showing for them to see if they've got the minerals to get past Newcastle on their ground. So it's going to be an absolute belter. The fact that you guys have timed it perfectly is unreal. Can't wait to see the tops off.
Yeah, and
with the Novocastrians.
Yeah, and just quickly, there was a moment on the weekend as well, which I've got to give some huge credit for. We just spoke about some goalkeeping woes. Well, I think we had some goalkeeping brilliance here from both ends, because anyone that was watching the Newcastle Jets and Wanderers games was sitting on the edge of their seat till the final whistle. And this is why, because Lawrence Thomas has gone forward, a ball has come in, he's won the header, and James Delianov has potentially just made the save of the season that has won them the game. I mean, one of the craziest moments, Rashid, that you could think of. Our old mate Lawrence Thomas has almost scored, and then Delianov just has done what every keeper dreams of doing.
Yeah, brilliant from both of them. What a header, what a save. Shout out Lawrence Thomas, man. He thought he scored, but they ruined the party for him.
Yeah, it was absolutely special. But, I mean...
Mate, a couple of the wiggles. You know, the purple wiggle versus the green wiggle.
Yeah.
And, both brilliant, really. I mean, it happens probably every week. You see a goalkeeper, sprint up last few minutes, but to actually nearly score and then the save from Dilyanov, unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, is that... Well, Devonish Mearsby put up here a few weeks back against Auckland where he anticipated and almost guesstimated off a cross, saves a Cosgrove header. That might be technically just as hard with the reaction time, although he's probably had more an idea where the ball could go. Up for save of the season, really, isn't it?
Yeah, both of them. Those are probably the two.
Yeah.
Very close.
Very close, you reckon?
Yeah. I think number 2 at the moment, close second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm no goalkeeping expert.
All right. Well, everyone in the league has had Juan Mata on their lips, and fair enough, he's been absolutely brilliant. But everyone in Adelaide's been saying Juan Muniz. And this man has just been absolutely lighting up Adelaide with his through balls, with his passes, his technique, his wonderful, efficient left foot. Rashid, we were in Adelaide very, very early in the season, and we caught a glimpse of him. Although he hasn't featured hugely with Craig Goodwin being fit, since Craig Goodwin's been out, he's really taken over Adelaide and given them some real class.
Yeah, he's one of those players that as soon as you see him pass the ball, you think he's going to be a good player. He's almost like you see him get out of his car and you know he's going to be a good player just by the way he moves.
Yeah.
I used to hate playing against players like him. It's really hard to press him because you feel like he's going to roll you. But then if you step off him and you let him lift his head up, he can be so dangerous if he finds balls in behind. His technique's amazing as well.
Yeah, that last ball to De Cooley was outstanding. Butker, those type of left-footed players, your archetypes, you could say. He's a central player, but not only is he nice to watch, but he's actually really, really impacting games in that young team.
Architectural expert, like Rash said, if you give him too much space, he's going to burn you. If you get too close, he's likely to burn you as well. So he's a double threat. It's good to see him starting games and having that impact. Obviously, not great that Goody's out, but obviously we've seen a little bit more of him and what he can do for the football club.
Yeah, and I just want to stay on Adelaide just a bit longer here because I want to actually break them down because they're 2 points off third. And they've been consistent over the last few weeks. We thought they're probably going to go backwards with the loss of Craig Goodwin. They've gone forwards. Who would have thought? Are we forgetting that these guys are a serious chance? I mean, we've got so many young players, Rashid, but they're continuing to get results. They're continuing to find a way, and they're playing with some class and style.
Well, I was just about to say, Jake, I reckon they were the best performing team this weekend.
Right.
I watched their game and I thought they were just outstanding from start to finish. The young boys doing well. Now, Goodwin's out and Muniz comes in and can just replace him like that. Not replace him, but, gives him a different sort of style and still getting wins and things like that. Johnny Yule's been incredible, like we were talking backstage. I think they're a real chance in finals.
Yeah, Butker, would you be, naturally going to Coopers is always tough for a team.
It is.
But it's potentially not a team you want to meet in finals because there's so much about them that is just electric.
It is, and I think if we look back throughout the year, they had their challenges with a lot of the young boys going away. So now they've had that time together, and when they get everyone on the park outside of Goody who's injured, they're a big threat, and they're a young, energetic squad. At Cooper's, very, very hard to play there, particularly in finals footy. It's probably one of the best grounds in Australia, like a proper football stadium. And the Adelaide faithful get behind them, so I wouldn't want to be facing them at home. And
it's quite unique because Ayrton Andrioli's coached a lot of these guys for 5-10 years.
Yep.
Coaching through
He's
the
been
system.
in the system for a while.
So there's a special kind of connection there that's brewing in Adelaide. It'll be interesting to see how their season is going to go. I did mention Central Coast at the top of the show have made the top 6, and they did win this game out at Macarthur in some great fashion. But we are going to focus on what was 12 minutes of mayhem, where Macarthur conceded a goal, scored one, and then had 2 people sent off. Guys, let's have a look at this. It might be something that could cost them a place in the finals as now they drop out. But here was the first goal from Central Coast. This was the Caceres bomb that just was absolutely brilliant to watch. And then it starts to get a little bit crazy. Uskok leaving his boots late there on the ankle of a Central Coast player. Straight red card. Ref wasn't happy with that one. Off he goes. And then this was the one at the end. The keeper comes out, cleans up a Central Coast player and sees red again. I mean, Rashid.
Yeah, just head loss to the max, right?
Yeah.
And I think, especially we were talking a few weeks ago about Juki coming in. This is an opportunity for them, and they've lost 4 out of their last 5. You know, so I think, yeah, like you said, that could be costing them a spot in the finals, and really this last game just sums up their season, really, yeah.
Butka, where are they sitting with you at the minute?
Yeah, the hard thing, and I dare say from a management perspective, it's the compounding effect. You know, once things start to pile up, and again, that 12 minutes of madness, it just hurts the team on the day, but then moving forward, it's going to compound from next week, right? Because you've got two red cards. And then add the form to that. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough run. So they're going to have to really recoup and sort of see what they can and can't do. But on paper, mate, they're strong enough. You know, they've definitely got the personnel. It's just whether they can really find that momentum and gel in that last little bit.
Well, I had them just kind of based off paper at the start of the season. This is before they even had Mitch Duke, that they were going to be in the top 4. So you speak about the tough run. Let's have a look at it, because Macarthur's run home is victory away, Auckland away, Newcastle at home, Perth away, Adelaide away, and then Wellington at home to finish. I mean, that's very tough.
Yeah, that's some stretch of games. Yeah,
they're going to have to galvanise to get together to obviously make that top 6 now. But they're still well in contention. Just quickly, Central Coast guys. Butka, I'll start with you. I mean, it feels like it was only 2 months ago they were in the bottom of the discussion with Western Sydney Wanderers.
Yeah.
And now they're in the 6th, and I guess really their own destiny's in their hands.
Well, they're in control, and it just goes to show you. I mean, we're talking about Macarthur a second ago, how quick you can change things if you get it right. It doesn't really take much in a league that's so condensed in terms of points and compact. You only need 1 or 2 good games in a row, and you're back in, 4th place, 5th place, 6th place. But Mooney's done an awesome job in what is, a pretty tough environment. So to see them back in the mix is outstanding.
And Rashid, you've got to give some credit where credit's due with where's the situation around the club earlier in the year, what the players had to go through, some of the changes that have happened at the top, and then all of a sudden now, on the field, they've just managed as a group to galvanise and push the train forward.
Yeah. I mean, for me, honestly, I'm very happy to see them back in the mix now, especially knowing some of the stuff. I mean, some of the stuff wasn't even publicised of how difficult this season's been for them and what they've gone through, so shout out to them. Well done.
I'm going to put you both on the spot here. We know Central Coast is 6th, Macarthur is 7th. If it's out of them two for that top 6 position, who are you taking with 6 games to go?
Which is purely on form and on the upcoming Macarthur run, you're probably saying Central Coast Mariners.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy statement when you think about where we were. But I tend to agree with you, Butka.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, you going there as well?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. A couple of angry Macarthur Bulls fans on the show tonight. Anyway, guys, we always speak about this on all of our shows, the audience questions. We're absolutely loving them. If you weren't tuned into last week, you missed one of the great halftime shows and calls by Naum Sekulovski, where he called a mascot race across Auckland. But that's all because of you guys at home. Anything you see around the league, anything you want to ask us, you can throw it in on the Instagram socials, as you'll see on the A-League socials. Ask myself or the panel any questions to make it on the show. And we have some rippers today. This one's an interesting one. We didn't speak about Melbourne City on this show yet. But this is from Dylan on Instagram. This is for the both of you guys. Do you think Melbourne City can turn it around, right? Guys, this is the lowest they have been as the Melbourne City brand. So when they were Melbourne Heart, they were at this point of the ladder, but they've never been this low since. So did they have the opportunity to turn it around? What do you guys think?
I don't think they can turn it around this season. I think they've been pretty inconsistent and just below par for the majority of the season. And then, they had their reinforcements come in with Teague and Arzani and stuff like that. Just nothing has clicked. I don't see them getting better.
What would be the reason in your mind, Bucker, they are where they are?
It's a hard one because, in terms of personnel, it wasn't wholesale changes off the back of last year, like very, very similar. They've tweaked here and there with the squad. Potentially maybe fatigue, coming off a really strong year last year. Obviously, from what we've seen, there's been a pretty strong focus on Asia as well. So whether, the playing group has sort of said, we're going to focus and put all our energy into this. You don't know that just might be a little psychological battle that they're fighting with internally. But really, they've got the cattle. It's the same cattle. Maybe the couple of ins, it's taken a little bit longer for them to settle, Rash. I think if they find a little bit of form, never say never, but it is a bit of a stretch considering the season they've had thus far.
Well, the next one we have here is from Luke 2062 on YouTube. Now, this is a good one. It says, who would you have in your team of the season thus far? And no Juan Mata, no obvious ones that we know are going to be there. I want something that people aren't thinking about at home, something a little bit more left field of who you guys have seen have been doing well.
Well, you actually just said, I won't say team of the season, but Sekulovski is actually a great player, and I've noticed him over the last few weeks, how much he's getting better every week as well and sort of imposing himself on games. I won't say his name, but I really like Jelicic.
Oh, yeah?
I really like
He's
Jelicic.
He's been good the last few weeks.
Great. He's been great. And I'll just say Johnny Yule.
Yeah, Johnny Yule. Yeah.
I'm going to go Randall. For me, I think he's been a consistent performer. He's probably had, probably their best player for me in my eyes. Again, I could be wrong, but he's one that I'd stamp in there.
Yep. Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay, like that. I thought Josh Rawlins has been good the last few weeks.
Yeah, good call.
Strata from Auckland, he's probably a shoe-in as a number 6. He's been brilliant for them this year. And then, God, we could reel them off at the Jets and Adelaide at the minute, couldn't we? Guys, I want to talk about just finally Auckland versus Jets this weekend because it is the big one. We've seen them go back and forth all year. Believe it or not, the Jets have gone to Auckland a couple of times now and won. Which we never thought was possible in a young squad. Now Auckland get to go back and return serve. This is a massive game up at Newcastle this weekend. How are you guys, feeling about it? Because imagine being a player playing in this. This is what dreams made of. From today, from tomorrow, Millsy's discussions, Steve Corica's discussions is just amping this up. This is the time you want to be a footballer.
Yeah, especially as a young player, right? What these kids have done and what Millsy has done as well, and the whole club at Newcastle Jets to get them to this point now, where it's basically a final, really. This is the premiership plate, going to be decided probably this weekend, and it'll be if they can win this weekend, that'll hold them in good stead and give them confidence going into the finals to do the big one.
Yep.
As well.
Bartko, talk about you obviously have been a young player playing at a high level. This special for the Newcastle players, but Auckland, you got to remember their last year they won the league and they got pipped out in the finals, so they know that they've got to time their run a bit better, but they're still going to be wanting to win and get the keep the Premier's plate title at least open, because if the Jets win this, it's probably a good chance it's done.
Yeah, no, spot on. And if you look at Auckland again, a young club, right? They're only their second year in the competition, so there's so many stories attached to this, and it's really, as a footballer, one of them games that'll probably stay entrenched in the software for a very long time, for good and bad, right? But they're all lessons learned either way. So the only thing that I'm gutted about is that I'm not on the trip to Newcastle. Because it's going to be an absolute belter, right? Like for everyone involved, for players, for clubs, for fans, and really in terms of ambassadors and endorsements for the A-League, these are the games that stand up. Like I was looking at the Novocastrians, the Newcastle crowd, and they look like they're 14, 15-year-olds with their tops off, super excited, super eager and keen, and that's what we want.
And yeah, you make a great point. The games have been brilliant over the past sort of 5 to 6 weeks. Like the actual quality of performances from teams, the results, the guessing game of who can win. Like it has been quite thrilling. So given that, I've got to make you guys give me a guessing game here. But who wins and what's the score this weekend between the Jets and Auckland?
Oh man, I'm going to go 3-1 to the Jets.
Wow,
and I think they'll start slowly, and Auckland might sneak one, and then the young boys will get going and start getting excited, and they'll just put them away.
Vodka?
Do I go with the A+ call?
Yeah.
And see if they can return serve?
Yeah, the solid. I said, man, Auckland are starting to fall over. You go, no, they're solid as a rock. And they did. They bounced back. And
1-0 Auckland.
1-0 Auckland. That is solid as a rock.
Yeah.
No goals, Newcastle.
That's 1-0. They're just going to score the goal and just park the bus.
All right, well, let's get ready to clip one of those next week because we'll see how they go. But there you have it from us here. Newcastle are going to win on Rashid's side. Auckland, I'm tipping it's going to be Newcastle just 2-1, or potentially could be a draw, but I'll tip a team just not to be boring and go with Newcastle. Guys, thrilling show. Thrilling weekend of football. Yeah, we're living the dream here on this show because we're just reviewing great performances every week, aren't we?
Mate, it's absolutely awesome. It's coming into that pointy end of the season, and literally the quality of football over the weekend was nothing but top shelf.
Yep. And Rashid, it's hard to kind of say after this season, there's no real team that you can say is going to win the grand final.
No.
Or even who's going to be in there, which is what makes this thrilling.
Yeah, as entertaining as it's ever been in terms of not knowing who's going to win each week.
Yeah,
which is
Oh,
great.
boys, well, good to have you on the show as always. Butker, brilliant. No
Pleasure.
race calls this week.
Nah, not this week.
And Rashid is looking lean and mean. The green machine over here.
Yep.
He's
Malnourished.
He's like a Spartan.
Yep. He's struggling to lift weights at the gym, but anyway, that's another story.
And
For everyone, what was that?
And
Buck?
he needs to get to the loo, to the toilet.
Yeah, all right, we'll get him off there then. But anyway, I'd want to thank everyone all at home for all your likes, comments and support across the A-League's downloads. We've enjoyed everything. Keep firing in those questions on the Sunday. We have a big run home for the season to come. But that is all from us here at the A-League's download, presented by Isuzu UTE. We'll see you next week.